We all know the P.E.K.K.A from way back. I still remember when my dream was to use it to destroy the first Chinese village I was put up against in Clash of Clans. But since then, the story and origin of this metal being has been a complete mystery. In the beginning, I'm pretty sure that you and I both thought this would be a big warrior inside an epic robot armor. Like, look at it. It has a helmet with demon horns, a hate-filled look, and a strike capable of destroying anything in just mere seconds. Some of those weirdos that you can find in Reddit and other forums made all these crazy theories. But sadly, it wasn't enough for Supercell to give us a single clue. In Clash of Clans, when the P.E.K.K.A made its first appearance back around 2012, there was absolutely no story behind it. All you knew was that it was expensive, slow, and that it hit like a truck. We didn't know if it was a robot, a human, a demon, or a lost transformer. In fact, in the game's loading screen, you could only see this text: "No one knows what's behind the mask. Maybe another mask." It was literally Supercell making fun of us. It was their elegant way of saying, "We don't even know what it is, but it sounds mysterious, so shut up and use it." The name P.E.K.K.A didn't even mean anything, but then Supercell made a Facebook contest for fans, and people started giving him meanings like Perfectly Enraged Night Killer of Assassins or Purple Evil Killing Night Automaton. But nothing was official. In other words, the P.E.K.K.A's lore was invented by the internet, not Supercell. In 2016, the most toxic game ever came out. Horrendous but addictive. Overwatch. Oh, true. Also another one called Clash Royale, where the P.E.K.K.A made its comeback. And yes, 2016 brings the P.E.K.K.A all in into Clash Royale. But this time, it comes next to his unwanted son, the mini P.E.K.K.A, a tiny funny robot that only knows the word pancakes and hitting everything like it owed him money. And yes, I know, nowadays everyone is in love of the mini P.E.K.K.A, I know. But Supercell kept hiding their secrets. Here, it's where they gave us the first official clue. In the P.E.K.K.A's card description, it said it was a she. Yes, after years of mystery, turns out Optimus Prime is a she. Half of the internet went crazy. There were artists in Reddit that had been drawing the Valkyrie inside the P.E.K.K.A's armor, and now they were right. But, of course, this only lasted a few minutes until chaos took over again. Because, as it turns out, in languages like Spanish or English, it did say it was a she. But in languages like Finnish, Arab, and Persian, the P.E.K.K.A was a him. So, where are we, Supercell? Is it a robot, a spirit, a toaster, a labubu? No one has any idea. But years later, Supercell comes out with a series called Clashorama, and there, everything falls apart. Because in an episode, we can clearly see what's inside the P.E.K.K.A. And what is it? A mini P.E.K.K.A playing as a DJ. So, we went from an armor controlled by a glorious warrior to a tiny robot who loves reggaeton. And the worst part about this is the mini P.E.K.K.A is a he. So, is the P.E.K.K.A his mom? His alter ego? Or maybe it just defines itself as non-binary? No one knows. Everything and everyone contradicts itself. On top of this, there's chapters where the P.E.K.K.A acts like it was a consciousness machine, and others where it seems to have emotions and personality. Literally, Supercell itself contradicts what they said chapter after chapter. And of course, fans started making more theories than the Five Nights at Freddy's community. One of the most popular theories said that the P.E.K.K.A was created by the builders, those dwarves from the hut in Clash of Clans, as a secret military project. Apparently, the objective was to create the ultimate weapon against dragons. But something went wrong, and the P.E.K.K.A ended up developing a mind of its own. Yes, basically Ultron, but made it Clash. Another theory said that the inside of the P.E.K.K.A's armor, there was a human soul, possibly the first barbarian king spirit who died in battle, and that the mini P.E.K.K.A was his failed attempt on mimicking its consciousness. This is a freaky theory, but there's a lot of people that took it very seriously. Then we have the Russian theory of the Matryoshka P.E.K.K.A. This one says that inside the P.E.K.K.A there's a mini P.E.K.K.A, and inside that mini P.E.K.K.A there's a mini P.E.K.K.A, and inside that a mini P.E.K.K.A. Okay, no, those last two I made them up, but the theory did say that after those two there was a spirit, like a cursed steel Russian dolls. Yeah, people have a lot of free time. After more than a decade of memes, theories, and weird drawings, Supercell finally says something. In 2024, they announced the P.E.K.K.A Evolution lore drop. There, they revealed something that changed it all. And nothing at the same time. The P.E.K.K.A has no one inside, but it also isn't empty. In reality, the armor is possessed by a spirit of the nature. Yes, exactly what I said. The most violent metal tank in the game is controlled by Mother Nature. Basically, the P.E.K.K.A is Avatar, but with no sense of humor. And if you pay attention, everything starts to make sense. Just a tiny bit, but at least something. That's why the P.E.K.K.A is always chasing butterflies in the arena. That's why it has that purple magic energy coming out of its eyes. It all makes sense now. Or at least we thought it did. Because the thing is, and pay attention here, nothing makes sense with the 10 years of prior history that they told us. How did we go from a robot killer to a nature spirit? And now, what happens with the mini P.E.K.K.A? Is it just its tiny butler? What about the Clash Royale version where it dances to reggaeton inside the armor? I mean, Supercell basically just did a Marvel. If something doesn't make sense, they just launch a new version and call it a multiverse. So, yeah, the P.E.K.K.A's lore makes no sense whatsoever. And to be honest, it probably will never do, because Supercell never wanted it to have it. The crazy thing is that the P.E.K.K.A ended up being much more bigger than its own story. It literally became the face of the Clashverse. It has its own statue in the village, it's the official mascot in official events, it appears in ads, in toys, in shorts, everywhere. And every time they show it, they make it different. Sometimes serious and dark, sometimes chasing butterflies, or even dancing with a mini P.E.K.K.A. At the end of the day, the P.E.K.K.A is whatever you want it to be. A warrior, a robot, a spirit, or a DJ. Maybe the P.E.K.K.A was always the friends we made along the way. As long as it keeps shattering towers in one hit, truth is, no one cares.